Hi guys, welcome to another video. If you don't know me, my name is Francess, and if you do know me, welcome back to my channel. Normally you would see videos of me as a university student or as a psychology student, or you would see me outside of university hanging out with friends and just having fun and being myself. Today's video is going to be tips and advices on applying to university for high schoolers. A bit of a disclaimer though, most of these tips and advices are for Canadian students, but some of these tips and advices could also help high schoolers outside of Canada. Doing your research and planning your future. Planning for your future and doing your research about the university and program you're interested in is actually so important, guys. The reason why I say grade 10 is one of the best times to really plan your future is because while you're doing your research on the program you're interested in and the university you're also interested in, it makes you plan ahead for your courses in high school so you can actually know the prerequisites that you actually need. And not only that, it gets you ahead of extracurricular activities. One thing I would keep in mind while researching about these universities is, would this university match my academic interests? Does this university match my lifestyle? An example of this would be, if you're the type of person who likes research intensive schools and you're okay with big campuses and big classrooms, there are schools like University of Toronto, University of British Columbia, University of Alberta. If you're the type of person who does not like big campuses, you would rather learn better in a small classroom, and you would like a small community, there are universities like St. Francis Xavier, Mount Allison. Lastly, if you're in grade 12 and you still haven't figured out what you want to do for university, or if you haven't planned out your future, I'm going to say this right now, don't feel too bad about it. Because I know there's a lot of high schoolers who are in grade 12 that are very stressed about university, and some of them have friends who have literally figured out their whole life, and there's people who have figured out what they want to do for university. They've already started applying now. One thing I could say is that it's never too late to plan for your future, and it's never too late to do your research. I know people who did their research halfway through grade 12 and are in university right now. So all I can say to you is that there are 32-year-olds who are still figuring out their life. It's literally never too late to do your research. Like, it's never too late. And I understand, like, we're kids and everything. And the thing is that we're also kids too, which is more understandable. There are 46-year-olds who haven't figured out their lives. It's never too late. Don't feel too bad about it. One thing about Canadian universities is that if you are unsure of what you want to do for universities, some universities in Canada offer general first year, or what we call it where I'm from is open studies. General first year or open studies is for students who don't know what to do for their undergrad. This helps you explore a wide range of courses to make it easier for you to choose the program that you want. And it could also help you witness your strengths and weakness in the certain courses that you do. So it gives you the flexibility to explore different fields before actually committing to that field. And I would say this is very good for students who are in grade 12 who have not decided on what to do for university. So that is another option for grade 12s, especially for those who have not decided. Tip 2. Volunteering and extracurricular activities. I understand that grades are important, but beyond grades, universities are trying to find students who are well-rounded and active in the community. They want to see students volunteering, they want to see students who join school clubs, they want to see students who play sports, they want to see students who do student counseling, all those extracurricular activities. Some extracurricular activities you can do is volunteering, whether it's a local charity, a local food bank, homeless shelter, a nursing home. You could also do clubs, whether it's a club from your school, a club outside of school. I think starting a club adds leadership experience and more of a teamwork skill too, so that's why I would suggest that. Volunteering shows commitment to others and the community, and it also demonstrates leadership and compassion. Another one you can do is mentoring or tutoring kids. And volunteer somewhere that aligns with the degree you're interested in or the program you're interested in, and can also make a meaningful impact to you and the community. When I say meaningful impact to you and the community, I mean impacts that will develop you as a person, that will develop your teamwork skills, your leadership, your communication skill. Universities love to see how volunteering can make you grow as a person. That's what they also like to see. Don't do too much extracurricular activities to the point that it affects your mental health, it affects your physical health, and then it starts to affect your grades. Because yes, you're doing extracurricular activities, but then your grades are also important too. One thing I would suggest is build a schedule based on school, the extracurricular activities you're doing, and volunteering. If you're doing sports, that would be on a weekday, but it could also be on a weekend. So one thing I would do is volunteering or any extracurricular activities that will take not much of your time. Like, let's say a school club. It could be 45 minutes of a school club. I would put that on the weekday. And then extracurricular activities or like volunteering that you're going to be doing that takes up much of your time, put that on the weekend. I understand that, oh, it's weekend for me to sleep and things like that, but you have to make sacrifices. You have to make sacrifices. That's just the way it goes. Extracurricular activities or places I would recommend to volunteer, especially for students who are interested in nurses, is nursing homes. There are times when an elderly person can get really emotional or aggressive, so you can get that one-on-one learning on how to deal with that situation, which I think is very good. Another place you can volunteer is hospitals. I know that could be very hard to do, but this is very good because it gives you exposure to healthcare, and it also gives you exposure of what to do in stressful situations and how nurses deal with that stressful situations. The reason why universities are looking more into extracurricular activities and volunteering experiences is because they're trying to get to know you as a person. They're trying to get to know your personality. And they're also trying to see how you can positively impact the university community. Tip 3. Crafting a personal statement. Many universities, especially competitive programs like nursing, engineering, and education, require you to have a personal statement or a supplementary application. This is a golden opportunity to really show the admissions team who you truly are as a person, what drives your ambition, and why you think you fit into their program. Admission officers read thousands of personal statements, so make sure yours stands out. One way you can make your personal statement or supplementary application really stand out is focusing on what really made you grow as a person. You can focus on genuine experiences that have shaped your goals, whether that's through volunteer work or academic projects or personal challenges. Instead of writing achievements that you've done throughout your years in your personal statement, instead write how these achievements have influenced your aspirations. When writing your personal statement or supplementary application, you can highlight critical experiences. Another would be your role as a volunteer in a healthcare center. Not just how you volunteered in a senior center, but how you impacted the seniors as a volunteer. One thing I would avoid when it comes to writing a personal statement is phrases like, I've always been interested, or I've always wanted to help, I've always liked this program, or I've always liked this subject. Avoid that, because everybody uses it, so avoid that. Another thing is that your English teacher will be your best friend during this whole personal statement and supplementary application. They will be your best friend. Always ask them to check for your spelling, grammatical errors, how to improve your statement way more better, and also ask your guidance counselors too. Other than English teachers and guidance counselors, ask if you know people who are in that program you are interested in applying to, or you know a family member who's doing that degree you want to do. Ask for their feedback too. I think those two are very important. Ask for their feedback too. I highly recommend it because they're the ones that are actually doing the job. I've been through that whole process of the education, so really ask them too. Tip 4. Smart finances and scholarships for affordable education. When applying for a university or even just researching about a university, one thing I would recommend is choosing a university where it doesn't break your bank account. The thing you can think about for your tuition is government grants and loans. Grants are not repayable, but they are given to you by the government, and the amount of grants you get is determined by your family's income. Loans, on the other hand, are payable, and the only time you get to pay these loans back is after you graduate. They tell you that loans have low interest rates, but realistically, they have high interest rates. So there's a program in Canada called CSLP, which is Canada Student Loan Program. So it offers need-based loans and grants to students across Canada. Many Canadian universities offer scholarships, bursaries, or entrance awards based on your academics, your extracurricular activities, and your involvements into the community and your leadership skills. Something I would do is thoroughly research in the university's websites based on their entrance award and scholarship, because it is really different for different universities. There are some universities that give you automatic consideration for scholarships, while other universities you have to do an application to get into that scholarship or scholars program. The reason why I say it's different, for example, is Queen's University has major admission award, while University has the U of T Scholars Program. Basically, Queen's University has the automatic consideration, while U of T, you have to apply for the Scholars Program. Another way you can really start saving up money or really applying for scholarships other than university scholarships is you can try external scholarships. You can find scholarships on websites, which is you can find Scholarships Canada. There's also GrantMe, but GrantMe is more on the really expensive side. You also have Universities Canada. Private companies also give out scholarships. A private company like TD offers scholarships, which is the TD Scholarship for Community Leaders. And these are for people who really show leadership through the community. You can get up to $10,000 for 4 years. Bank of Montreal also gives out scholarships for students entering post-secondary education. And this scholarship is targeted towards underrepresented groups. And you do get up to $10,000 worth of scholarship money. Suncor Energy is another private company that gives out scholarship money to those who are pursuing education, engineering, and environmental studies. It's targeted to women in STEM, specifically engineering. There are various external scholarships that support women who are in engineering. CFUW, which is Canadian Federation of University Women, gives out scholarships to women who are pursuing their education in post-secondary. This scholarship is tended to encourage women to focus on their careers and goals. Another one is Canadian Engineering Memorial Foundation. This scholarship is for women who are pursuing education in engineering. I don't think much people talk about Indigenous people for student funding, but I did do some research for Indigenous people. There's things like Inspire Bursary that can really help Indigenous students with their tuition. And then there's university-based scholarships for Indigenous students. It does vary in different universities, so I would do a little bit more research on that. My tip for applying for scholarships is to start early. Start doing your research on these scholarships and start early. I would apply to as much as possible scholarships just because you never know what might happen. I understand, like, oh, a lot of people have probably applied. Oh, their application might be better than mine. Still apply. Still apply. It doesn't matter. Still apply. Another thing is always keep track of the deadlines. These deadlines really go fast. You blink and it's the deadline day. So really keep in track. Tip 5. Accelerated programs through undergraduate route. This one is so much of a golden opportunity because I don't think much people know about this. QU Arms is an accelerated route program to get into medical school. It accepts 10 Black and Indigenous students to get into one of their bachelor's in specialization like life sciences, health sciences, or psychology. After 2 years of completing that bachelor's program, they then select 10 students who are allowed to apply to Queen's Medical School without having to do the MCAT. The reason why Queen's University has this program is to encourage and attract more minorities to enter the medical field. And it's to correct the underrepresentation of Black and Indigenous individuals in Canada. I would say about this program is that although it is for minorities, this program is highly competitive. Other than the QU Arms, there's the Queen's Accelerated Masters in Engineering program. So these allow students who are doing undergrad degree in engineering to easily transition into masters in engineering, which allows a completion of their whole education and studies in a typical less amount of time. I would say for this acceleration to masters in engineering, I would say it's not that bad, but it is very competitive. They say that the minimum is a B-, but realistically, it's an A-. So that is also another one for engineering students if you are interested. This is for my psychology students. So Simon Fraser's University has an accelerated program, which is accelerated bachelor's to master's in psychology. How this program works is while you're doing your undergrad in Bachelor of Psychology, you can also do your master's of arts in psychology, which reduces a significant amount of time, and I would say which is very, very, very helpful to get a job earlier. Queen's University also has this program, but instead of it being Master of Arts, it's Master of Science in Psychology. With University of Calgary's program, you do your Bachelor of Arts undergrad while doing your Master's in Counseling, and I would say that is very, very, very good. If you're interested in counseling, I would definitely try and apply for this program. These are for people who are trying to find accelerated programs. I hope this information is very insightful. Tip 6. Relying on God's wisdom and understanding. Last advice I would give to you guys is really give it all to God. Pray, 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 pray. I understand that you're students and it's very, very busy for you, that you have school, you have extracurricular activities, you have sports to do, you have to spend time with family, you have to spend time with friends. But spending time with God does not take that much time of your day. It could literally be like 2 minutes and you can just give it to God. If you're lost on what to do, ask God for guidance, ask God for knowledge, ask God for wisdom. He will give it to you, just like that. When you're praying, also have faith in God. Trust in God's plan, because I understand you have a certain plan you want to do, but trust me, God's plan is better and safe. It's one of the safest options you will have. God's plan is literally the best plan you will ever have in your life. God can literally use people to help you find resources for scholarships, for references, things like that. Honestly, pray, 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 and just trust in God's plan. Because if Job can have patience and trust in God's plan, so can you. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was very informative. I hope this was insightful. And I just overall hope this helped you in applying for universities. And I hope some of these extra information that I said in this video helped a lot. I wish you guys good luck on your application, and I will keep you guys in my prayers. Bye-bye. Before you leave, make sure to like this video and subscribe. If you have any questions, write the questions down below in the comment, or you can DM me on Instagram.